Dang it. I forgot my water downstairs. It's all good. All right. So we're live.
We are.
We're getting started soon. I'm going to try to figure out some of the technical things. We did a test, but this is our first real full official live. So let's see how things happen. Now, I think we're live on what? LinkedIn and YouTube. The question is, are we live on my personal page and company page at the same time? So can you see that, Denise?
I'm looking on excuse me, as Trella, and we don't seem to be live there. So let me go to your personal and see what's going on there.
Yeah.
Testing.
I'll play this while we...
Where is it?
Hey yo, I know people have been wondering, how do you maintain a plant in TrellaGro LST?
Well, while we wait, we'll
of something that we do
play this post.
every 10 to 14 days.
This is
we go in and we lightly
defoliate. On your personal.
Okay, it's just not on the company.
Let me go back. It just kind of came up.
I wonder if there's a way to share it.
We're gonna leave all those branches intact.
Yeah,
my phone.
Low stress training method.
Okay, my phone is downstairs. I'm not able to do it.
Leaving all those branches intact because when we grow
the plant sideways horizontally,
it would be good if we could share to Trella's company page that we're going live. You might be able to do that. You might be able to see my post and then share it as Trella.
Oh, this looks good.
But yeah, we're all done with this one.
Can I see? Can I see?
Just a bit, lightly defoliated,
sure.
And she'll continue growing to the left.
Okay, cool.
All right, man, peace, man.
That's on, yes, that's on the personal page, and
that's
then
on the personal. It's like the banner up at the top. You know where you have the background.
Yep.
That's interesting. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh, one person's here.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us.
No, gone. It was me.
It was you. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Hey yo, I know people have been wondering, how do you maintain a plant in TrellaGro LST? So here's an example of something that we do really only every 10 to 14 days. We go in and we lightly defoliate. We just take away the leaves and we leave
how beautiful that plant is.
Take away the leaves. We take away the leaves that look a little discolored, a little unhealthy. Remove some.
Can you name your plants?
But we want to leave all those branches intact. A low stress training.
No,
so we're not
I can't say that I do. They have their own
just leaving all those branches intact.
Traits that I keep track of. I mean, one is trial 2022 Model 6.
So the end result
that's its name.
More biomass, more yield.
Number 5 is alive.
How it works? Check us out at Trella.io. But yeah, we're all done with this one.
All right.
She's cleaned up just a bit, lightly defoliated.
But yeah, this is the post that
All right, man. Peace, man, love.
We're going to post later today. Yeah, we'll post this one later this afternoon. We had a lot of people asking about how do you get in, how do you maintain a plant. So one of the topics that we're going to get into today, not right away, but we'll get into it in a few, is how to maintain a plant in TrellaGro LST. How do you get in there? How do you access the plant? What do you do? We've had a few different people do some testing for us, and it's just amazing to watch the different ways that people try to engage with the unit. So I wanted to talk about that and get some input and answer any questions that people might have. But we're not going to start there right away. First, we're going to talk about a few more exciting topics. First, we're going to celebrate a really cool moment in the United States, the celebration of Justice Ketanji Oynika Brown Jackson. I love saying that middle name. We're going to talk about the MORE Act, what's going on with that, some New Jersey cannabis licensing news, the rollout of that, what's going on. We're here on the East Coast. So for us, NJ coming online is a really, really big deal. Really, really big deal. I'm from Philly, so it's close to home, and just excited to see that come online. And then we'll talk about how to maintain a plant in TrellaGro LST. So we'll come back to this video that you see here. So we're going to bounce that out the way right now, and we're going to get started. Boom.
Boom.
And first up,
I think we should play that clip first, don't you?
You want to play that clip?
Why
Let me
not?
add it to the stream.
Historic.
All right.
I mean,
Tell me where you want me to play it from.
yeah, just do it here and then fast forward just a little bit, and then you're going to see a guy walk up to Vice President Kamala Harris. Keep going a little bit. There we go. I think maybe there. There we go. A little bit back. And can we hear her? Hopefully everybody watched this. I don't know about you, but
I think you might be assuming that some people are as excited about this as we are. I mean, I'm personally excited. I mean, to have, you know, a Black woman and, you know, chocolate brown sister. That's just how I look at her. Like, she looks, you know, like my family.
Right.
And to be able to see yourself, to see people like you doing things like this is inspiring. I mean, I'm not, you know, interested in ever becoming a Supreme Court justice.
Oh,
my interest in being a politician are very, very minimal. But for the other, you know, young women out there, young women of color that are interested in this direction, boom, there you go. It's a great example. It's a great example. And, you know, not only has she been voted in, she's heavy qualified, like crazy qualified.
Crazy qualified.
I think it was you that sent me that.
Yeah.
Oh, should we be quiet for this part?
I don't even know if we can hear it. I can't hear it. But basically, this Vice President Harris is basically saying, okay, there was a motion to kind of relook at everything. And she started laughing. And Majority Leader Schumer's like, I'm happily saying that there's no quorum to even vote on it. And everyone's like, wee, yay. But it's just, she's the 116th justice.
116th. There you have it.
She doesn't come on till like June or July because Breyer is not retiring till then. He's finishing up the session, and then she's going to get sworn in. It's going to be very interesting this next year. There's some major topics coming up to the Supreme Court that affects us personally, everyday people personally, about marriage, about everything else, overturning some major legislation too. So stay tuned. Everyone should be, you know, paying attention.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, for us, you know, Voting Rights Act, LGBTQ, all that stuff hits us personally.
Yeah.
You know, I guess on this earthly plane, I'll say, I consider myself to be a human first, an African, a woman, and a queer woman. You know, all those things are rolled in, and it's we've had a lot of things that we've gained over the last 30, 40 years. That could be rolled back like that. So
just like that.
This is really important. And we'll see what she decides to do. You know, we can't pretend like we know exactly how she's going to handle all these situations. We hope.
I trust her, though.
We hope that she will.
I trust her more than almost anybody else on the Supreme Court right now.
Yeah. We'll see. She's got to prove, you know, she's got to prove, but her track record is incredibly impressive. She deserves to be there 1,000 times over. And I was thrilled to see it. So
they were. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about let's see who she becomes friends with on the Supreme Court, because you know how Ginsburg was friends with Scalia and the unlikely friendships, and they were thinking that she was going to hook up with Amy Coney Barrett, and I'm like, you're kidding! I was like, that doesn't seem like I don't know, I guess it is an unlikely friendship. So I can't wait to see who she befriends.
She's probably going to hang out by herself.
I would.
But I'm not sure. So anything else on this that we wanted to touch on?
I don't think so. I just think that we should just keep celebrating every day about it.
Yeah. Good times. I mean, another good thing that happened that's related to the cannabis industry, business, the grow community, is the MORE Act moved forward a little bit, but you know, I'm cautiously optimistic about that too. Cautiously optimistic. I mean, this is the second time, so it's not like it's the first time we've gotten past this point. It's up to the Senate to decide what they're going to do. I mean, talk to this, Denise. I know you've been doing some research trying to figure out the when and all
Yeah,
that.
I don't think it's on the docket yet on when it's gonna be voted on. But can we just take a little bit and just be like, at least they're talking about it. This wouldn't have happened even like 5-6 years ago. At least this is a discussion now. People are voting on it. They're having, some really robust conversations around expungement, more importantly, and then legalization as a whole for the whole country. But this would never even been brought up before, and at least we're talking about it. And now we can be disappointed that it's been stalled, but we haven't even gotten to this place before. So this is really good. This is something we should celebrate. But the Senate needs to get their act together. I'm so sick of the Senate.
Yeah. I'm also I'm cautiously optimistic about this too. I guess that might be a phrase for the day, but expungement, legalization are kind of like two different things to me. Like I feel like the plant should not be criminalized to any extent. So expungement, releasing people from prison and jail, cleaning records, all of that stuff should be done immediately. Setting up a regulated market on the federal level, yeesh, that's kind of where I get a little bit, concerned, because as we've seen with regulation from a state to state perspective, it's the people that have the cash are the ones that they're able to play. And the people that have been working in this industry, the unregulated, companies that have been prospering and doing well, because if they weren't, we wouldn't have a cannabis industry. So we obviously know that people that are in the unregulated market know what they're doing. They're not able to get in because there's just so much red tape, a lot of things to jump through. And I guess every state is different, and we'll talk about the different states over time. Like we're going to hit up New Jersey next. That's our next topic. But I think even former Commissioner Shalene Title talked about it too, about in some of the articles that she's written, just being really concerned and keeping your eyes on it closely on this federal regulation approach. Who gets to play, who doesn't, because everybody's trying to carve out a piece for themselves. Unfortunately, I wish we could be in a world where that wasn't the case, but it's just the way it is right now.
Ugh.
Yeah. But on a lighter note, New Jersey seems to be doing some stuff. Love seeing this movement in NJ. I mean, I'm from Philadelphia originally. I grew up in Philly. Go home often. Me and my wife had our son Amir. He will be 1 year old in 2 days. So about 363 days ago, our son Amir entered the earth and joined us, and it's been a blast. But now that he's here, we're in Philly a lot more because grandparents want to see the baby. So and we've got business interests in New Jersey as well. We've been consulting one of the social equity applicants there. Can't give more information due to confidentiality, but we're involved. We're down there, and we got a lot that we're looking to do in that area. So this is great. This is great to see that the cannabis licenses were rolled out. My understanding is that a lot of them, the good majority of them, went to social equity applicants, which was not the case in Massachusetts. So it's nice to see NJ doing that. I know that there are some medical marijuana facilities that are a little bit upset because they were not able to get in on this, even though they're already operating. But I think that it was really important to make space for the social equity applicants. So I'm good with it.
Didn't you say, Asia, there was a, excuse me, there was a huge amount of applications and they only chose 60?
63 or yeah, there was there were a lot of applications, only maybe like 68 or something actually gained what's called conditional acceptance. So you can start, you really can't start selling anything yet, but you can start getting your equipment in place, and then keep submitting more application information over time until you get that final full acceptance. So we're learning about that too as we go. Like, what's that like? So we're kind of in the learning phase on it as well.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
that a lot. It's
yeah,
like, hey, you made it through the first step. Now let's see if you continue to do what you say that you're going to do, and then we'll give you our blessing at the end.
yeah, yeah. And then, but the only thing that I wish that we could do home grow and NJ. I know they've been pushing for that. There was some pushback. I don't know where that is right now. I have to do some more research, but yeah, I'm a huge supporter of home grow. If you can, if it's legal in the state, people should be able to maintain their own supply.
Yeah,
You,
agreed.
if you have the capacity, if you have the willingness to want to grow your own cannabis in your own home, under your own conditions, using your own nutrients, so that you have 100% control over what's going into the plant that you're consuming, you should be allowed to do that without a question. Like I don't even know why some people don't understand that. I think that they think that it will be in an okay for the unregulated market to continue. Um, the way that you, I think, eliminate that is that you allow more participation in the regulated market, and then home growers won't feel the need to go out and if 3 plants, 6 plants, that's plenty. Especially when you're growing with Trella, that's plenty. Like we make the most out of every individual plant. So 3 plants, 6 plants, that helps out a lot for people. You should be able to do that. So moving on to the next topic is how do you maintain a plant? I'll add that back up
Hey
there.
yo, I know people have been wondering, how do you maintain a plant in TrellaGro LST? So here's an example of something that we do really only every 10 to 14 days. We go in and we lightly defoliate. We just take away the leaves and we leave the branches intact. We just take away the leaves. We take away the leaves that look a little discolored, a little unhealthy, remove some of those lower leaves. But we want to leave all those branches intact. We use a low stress training
Got some
method, so we're
comments
not
too.
excessively trimming, pruning, or lollipopping.
We'll come back to that,
Just
Darren.
leaving
Thanks for
all those
coming
branches
in.
intact, because when we grow this plant sideways horizontally in TrellaGro LST, every branch will get access to the light. So the more branches you have, the more colas you have. So the end result is less waste, more biomass, and more yield. If you want to learn more about the method, how it works, check us out at trella.io. But yeah, we're all done with this one. She's cleaned up just a bit, lightly defoliated, and she'll continue growing to the left. All right, mad peace, mad love.
Yes, I'll let this play again, and I'll just turn the volume down so I can explain a little bit. And then looks like, well, hold on. All right, Darren, you were talking about Ketanji, and we are so sorry we missed your comments. We are getting used to this.
You're like, there's comments. I'm like, there are.
It's 4 comments. Yeah, thank you, Darren, for joining in. And yeah, I hope she doesn't recluse herself from some of this stuff as well. South does need to show up. Yeah, all great stuff. Thank you. He's still with us.
We didn't lose.
He didn't lose you. So, yeah, going to this. How do you maintain a plant in TrellaGro? Well, when they first, especially some of, good to know. There you are. Love that, Darren. Thank you for letting us know. Also, an investor, financial supporter, social media supporter. We need it. Appreciate it. So yeah, Darren. I mean, you might have had this question when we first started doing this back in like 2018. We did our first user experience where we had a model. We did it using virtual reality, actually. Like we to save on costs, trying to be efficient, trying to be innovative. We came up with this idea of putting the Trella design in a CAD model, which is a computer aided design. So we put it in a CAD model. We hooked it up to a headset. We connected with a few growers in the Massachusetts area, and we said, hey, can you come in, throw on a headset, and tell us what you see in this, what do you think about our designs? We had a plant in there. You could go in and like make it move. It was really cool, really, really cool. And one of the first comments that we had when we started the design is, how do I get into the plant? It feels like it was, the 2018, 2019 version. Felt like it was really hard, just visually looking at it. It looked hard to get into the plant and to water it, to maintain it, etc. So we did a lot of thinking and redesign on how do we increase the size, make it better for people to get access to it, make it just the roots, the plant, wherever you need to. And we're really happy where we are right now. It's pretty much like an open structure. You can get in from any direction. and do what you need to do with the plant. So this is a video that we put together of just how do you maintain a plant in Trella. So I'll play it again. I'll talk through it as it plays. We're going to also post this on social media today. So you'll see it on, all of our different social media feeds if you want to go back and check it out. But we do the low stress training method. So for those of you that might not be, aware of the differences, there's lots of different ways you could train a plant, lots of different ways. They kind of categorize them in two sections: high stress training, low stress training. High stress is when you are cutting the plant, bending the plant, kind of being a little bit aggressive. You're stressing the plant a lot, so high stress. Low stress is when you're being a little bit more gentle, trying not to, cause too much stress to the plant. And one of the reasons why is that when you overstress a plant, it needs to take some of that energy to repair itself. So there's like a balance of, too much stress means I need too much energy to repair myself, which means I'm not using that energy to grow. So my growth slows down. So low stress is great because it helps to maintain that balance of what's enough stress to control the plant the way we want to, but not to cause it to have to take its energy to repair itself. We want it to use its energy to grow. So low stress training is one of the methods that we looked into and we were trying to mimic or automate that method. And this is what we've got. So we don't trim, we don't do super cropping. That's another thing that people do that's considered high stress. We don't lollipop. Lollipopping is when you're cutting a lot of the branches at the bottom and it looks like a big lollipop on the top, like a stick and then a lollipop. And all the leaves and stuff are at the top. We don't do that either. We just go in and we bend the plant sideways. And that happens, automatically. It happens with TrellaGro LST. We've got 3 different models. Well, we have 2 available, but we're going to be announcing the 3rd one next week. So stand by for that. But it's gently bending the plant sideways. And all you need to do is go in every, 10 to 14 days. I'll play it again for those that may have missed it. We go in every 10 to 14 days and we just lightly defoliate, taking away the leaves that look discolored, look like they have a little bit of, they might be a little sad, a little saggy. They might have been damaged from when you were going in there doing something else. Trust that happens. So you go in and you just take away some of those lower leaves, and you can see what I'm doing here in this shot. And at the very end, I show you a photo of all the stuff Darren has a question. I'll get to you in a sec, Darren. I show a photo of all the raw materials raw materials, all the raw biomass that I took away from the plant. You can see it's not a lot. We're not taking any branches. We're not taking anything excessive. We're leaving as many of the leaves on as we can. And then moving on to the next thing. We do have a fan. That's right, Darren. Darren's asking a question here. Let me pop that up. Thanks, Darren. Does using a fan help the plant to grow? Low, high stress effect. Yeah, that's a good question. There's a balance with that too, because too much fan can cause stress. Not enough fan can create what are called microclimates. It's just stagnant air that isn't moving, and then it gets humid, and then moisture develops, and then you get bacteria. So you want enough, and the other added benefit of a fan is the wind movement does stress the plant a little bit. It's like it's exercising the plant. Think of it that way. Like you could go out, especially when you're a runner, and if you haven't been running for a long time and you decide to go back, you don't go out and just start doing sprints. You got to build yourself up to it. You start jogging, so that and that's the exercise. So what the fans are actually doing is they're lightly moving the leaves and moving the branches to strengthen them. And the stronger they are, the better cell structure they'll have to be able to transport the water, the nutrients, and all the sugars and stuff that are you got some stuff going in one direction, other stuff going in another direction. I won't get into all that right now, but when the branches are a little bit beefier, a little bit thicker, you can move more volume through in both directions. So that helps with efficiency of plant growth. But again, too much of a fan can stress it. And you'll see that the leaves will start to curl up, like they're flat like this. And then when the fan starts to get to be too much, they start curling up. Because I know it's freaky that my hands can do that. My wife says that,
Yeah, it is freaky.
you know, can people do this?
No.
Not a lot of people can do that.
What?
But yeah, you know, the fans start to curl up. And that's how you know you got too much fan going on. So there's a balance. It's like with everything, you know, yin yang, duality, above, below, balance and everything. So yeah, thanks for asking that question. One more time.
That plant is just beautiful, though.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the beginning. Like I went in, cleaned out some stuff. You'll see it at the end. Little bit little cleaner looking to let more of that air go through.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to show the live one after this one?
Yeah, we'll do that next. Because that's, you know, we're going to talk about, I wanted to talk about something for next week. We're going to talk about LED lights and sustainability and energy. So I'll give you a little bit of a tease on that right after this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is the end. And that's all I took. That's it. Just that amount. And left all the branches intact. And that's you only do it every 10 to 14 days. I mean, that took me, I did speed up obviously the recording has been sped up, but I think the whole process from the minute I touched the plant to the minute I stepped away from it was about 2.5 minutes per plant every 10 to 14 days. And if you're growing in a vertically stacked configuration where you've got like a couple of levels, you know that you got a height limitation there. So even when people are going in there to try to do it themselves, it can be pretty challenging. So we developed this to help with that as well, so that, you know, it's easier to get access to it. You don't have to do it as much. I mean, and you can do it on multiple levels without really needing to go to each individual level and each individual plant. I mean, it just cuts down your operating costs tremendously. So yeah, and then I'll show you, as Denise requested. All right, let me get this fixed. Hold on. I don't know that this was. Oh, I see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on here. Let me see. It won't do it that way.
That's
Still
weird.
trying to figure out the configurations. I'd like to make that bigger. Let's see. Solo. Boom.
Oh,
All right. There we go. So yeah, this is down in the grow lab. The bugs were you out in indoor grow? Oh wow, Darren. I'd like to know more about what kind of bugs are you getting on your indoor grow. Feel free to drop that in your comments. I want to know. But yeah, this is one of the models with one of the plants in the shop. And when I was talking before about LEDs, you can see we've got individual LED lights. These are 30 watts each. 30 watts, 24 inches long. At the time, cheap. Got them from like Home Depot, Lowe's. They're just GE grow lights. One of the things that we wanted to do was figure out what's the cheapest, like most economical grow light that we can use with this and still get good results. And I have to say that they're not bad. They're not bad lights. I mean, there's obviously much better ones out there on the market, but as with anything, it depends on how much you want to spend. But you've got individual grow bars placed over this unit, and this is our Model 6, which means it's 6 feet long. So it has 8 different LED lights going over the top of it. And you can see that right now we only have 4 of those LED lights on. So we're about like 50% of the total lights that we have on. And the reason why we only have on 4 is because we don't need the other, we don't need 5, 6, 7, and 8 right now. They're all the way to the right. The plant's not really under them right now. So we turn those lights off to save. Now, we'll get into this more next week when we do our live. We're gonna have two things we're gonna talk about next week. We're gonna talk about our new product announcement, and then we can also talk about the LEDs a lot more and why we do it this way, and what's the cost savings, what's the energy savings when you do it this way versus just doing it the traditional method. So we'll hit that up next week. So please if you see, a reminder or a post or something like that, it'll be same time next week, Tuesday at noon, right? Right, Denise?
Yep.
All right, Tuesday at noon. And we'll talk more about how we use LEDs in our plans and stuff like that. Thrips, okay, yeah. Soil, then you're growing. Are Darren? Are you interested in moving to hydro? I mean, everything has issues, but I'm assuming you're growing in soil. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. So yeah, that's what we got. What do we have up next on our how to invest? So we'll drop in the comments. I don't know, Denise, if you can do that. Can you type in drop our WeFunder link
In the comments.
in the comment section for everybody?
I think I can do that. Stand by, please.
All right. So yeah, yeah, got it. Okay, yeah. So Darren is using soil. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I don't like growing in soil in the house. Hydro is a lot cleaner, easier for me. You do have to watch out for different things with hydro, like root rot, which is something that's but kind of it affects the roots, obviously. But you can also get fungus gnats with hydro. So everything's different. But as you can see, to help with the fungus gnats, I've got these like red clay pebbles that I love to use. You can see that in the video to help with making sure that you don't want that area to get wet. If it gets wet, that's when the fungus gnats will start to come. And then to help with root rot, I change out the water. And this is for this particular setup. I had it automated before, but for this particular setup, it's a lot simpler. It's just an 8-gallon deep water culture bucket. And about every 2 weeks, when I go in and do the plant maintenance, same time, I change out the water and put in fresh water. But before I do that, the day before, I put in a couple of tablespoons of hydrogen peroxide in the water. What that does is it reduces bacteria, and hydrogen peroxide turns into H2O after 24 hours. It just, it's H2O2. That other O just pops off after about 24 hours. So it's just water. I like to do that right before I switch to nutrients because it does affect the balance. But yeah, it's my way of just cleaning the roots real quick, and then I bring in fresh water, fresh nutrients, and wait another 2 weeks and repeat the same method. But getting back to we're going to come live again. But before you go, please check out our investment offering on WeFunder.com. We got a lot of information on there, and for hydro, I was growing in a bathroom. Okay, you might be able to still do it though. All right, Darren. All right, Darren. Email us at Trella.io and we can continue this conversation. Please email us at Trella.io if you like, and then we can try to talk you through a little bit of it. Appreciate you being an investor, so want to make sure no matter what you're doing, that you're having fun growing and being successful with it. And then spread the word. Yeah, I mean we're accepting more. We're accepting investment. Go to WeFunder.com. It's regulation crowdfunding. That's what it's called. It's regulated by the SEC. All of our financials are there. I mean, we're practically a public company without being a public company. We have to go through a lot of different, we have to submit a lot of information and have all of our ducks in a row to get to this point. Because it does take work. It is some upfront work. There's other ways to get funding. But we really wanted to have the crowd support us. We want, the people that are investors to be our clients and our customers as well. So, and that's what's happened. I mean, Denise, I think close to 80% of our customers are investors too. So, they love the technology. They love the company. and they want to be a part of it. And so we like doing regulation crowdfunding, and we'll continue to do it so that we can allow, for that that partnership, that partnership with the community. So check it out, WeFunder.com. You'll see we gotten a lot of stuff done, but we got a lot more to do. We're going to be dropping a new product soon. We got to scale up our production. So please check that out. I also can't go into too much detail about it because of SEC rules. So that's why you'll see us all the time just say, please go to the page, please go to the page. Because the reason why we can't talk about the terms and the details of the offering is because they want to make sure that people aren't, I don't want to say like carnival, like salesman type of thing. Like they don't want people misrepresenting their companies. They don't want people giving out different terms or being incorrect with giving out different terms. So one of the rules and stipulations of regulation crowdfunding is send people to the page. That way everybody gets to see the same information. It's there. Yeah. If you have any questions about the offering, the investment terms, you can ask the questions there. I'll answer the questions there. That way everybody gets to see, what's going on and everyone stays up to date. So please check it out. If you want to be an investor, become an investor, for as little as $250. If you want to support us in another way, share the link, please spread the word, share the link. Because a lot of this is all about eyes on the page. And trust me, these algorithms are heavy out here, especially dealing with cannabis. And when you're dealing with cannabis, you can't really run ads. You can't really do a lot of things that other companies can do. So grassroots, spread the word, share the love. We appreciate you. Anything else, Denise? We'll be back next week around noon, right? Anything else before we end?
I don't think so. I think you covered everything. Tell everybody. Join us on Tuesday.
Join us on Tuesday. Tell everybody. We'll be back. All right, man. Peace, man. Love, everyone.